not that different, you and I. Both tormented by our personal wars. I guess that's what keeps us alive. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dirty Four Night at the Movies. I am Claudio Capri. Next to me is the awesome Joy Laflamme, who's a co-producer and co-host of the Dirty Four podcast and open mic. And tonight we have amazing people with us. We have the crew of Lonely Path Films. We've got Anita. We got the amazing Joe Rossi. And also the amazing Cinema Italiano, a.k.a. Anthony Calabrese. How are y'all doing tonight?
We're good.
I'm good.
Doing good.
Good. You're good, man. Good. And we have a few people coming in. We have Jess Sorrell, who's tuning in with us, and also Melanie Azaf. Hello, everybody. How you all doing?
Before we start, hey, Jess Sorrell, what time is it in Australia?
Yeah, what time is it in Australia? it's an inside joke that
it's 13 hours ahead, I think, right? No?
Yeah.
It's tomorrow morning at early. I think it's
something like that.
Yeah.
8 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. So for everybody who's tuning in, hello everybody, and if you could, share this with amongst people and tell them to come on, because we're gonna have a fun night of movie talks with the Lonely Path Films. So before we continue, how did you guys come up with? Well, Anita as well. How did you all come up with the title Lonely Path Films?
I think this is Anthony's to discuss because it was Anthony's baby before me and Anita and David Magini, the other guy in Lonely Path Films, got on.
Yeah, it's actually I basically started Lonely Path Films more than 10 years ago, and I was on my own. I was making short films on my own, and then I did a production at Leonardo da Vinci Center in St. Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
And I put on a play, and I started networking and working with other people. So like the name kind of like I started off on my own, but then I quickly realized that I had to work with people in order to get somewhere. But the name stuck though. I kept the name because when I started, I was on my own, and I kind of liked the name, and I just kept it. I never changed it.
Nice.
That's basically it.
Awesome. So now we're gonna go into Night Shift, the film. By the way, if y'all don't know about this, Night Shift won awards. Actually, it won best actor for Massimo Canistraro and best cast. So, folks, Night Shift is going to come out soon, but I want to know. Well, we want to know a little bit about how did you all come up with the film Night Shift? Like, what was inspiring to you to make Night Shift?
I wrote a little treatment, or it was supposed to be a silent film. That was it. It was supposed to be a silent film about a hitman who a cleanup man who cleans up messes at night and then goes back to his family in the day. It's like it was a mundane experiment.
Yes.
And then I passed it to Anthony, and he added we've added the dialogue, and he added the whole thing with the Julie Barbeau's character, Tony Calabretta's character, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, I really liked his idea about the guy who is basically he's doing like these dubious things for nefarious people, and he's like I thought maybe wouldn't it be cool if he was like if I'd go deeper he'd be tortured in some way, like he's doing it because he's going through a traumatic experience. And then I just kept telling Joe about these ideas, and Joe was basically encouraging me. So I just basically thought up a narrative for this particular character that we had, and it snowballed from there. I mean, I just kept giving sort of like telling Joe what I thought, and we usually what happens is we we share our ideas and then start working on a story that we both agree on. And then once we agree on the story, we share the dialogue, and then we tweak as we go along. And then the end result became Night Shift. But the idea that he was a soldier and he had PTSD and all of that, I got the idea from a real soldier who was in the Canadian Army. He was actually it's not based on him, but it's loosely based on a Canadian soldier who was killed in Afghanistan, and he was a decorated soldier. And I took that idea and I said, what if like this guy, instead of dying, he had this traumatic experience and then came home, and then because he couldn't function in the world, he did like whatever he could do to sort of survive. And basically that's what he did. He went to work for like the mob, and did cleanup jobs for the mob. And
oh man,
yeah. And then basically thinking about like in what way could this guy be helped. And then sort of we talked about the fact that maybe we could have like that old story where he's being helped by a professional, like by a nurse, and then after that we just sort of like pieced it together and we came up with Night Shift.
Oh man, no, honestly, it was I saw Massimo. The moment I walked in the bar, I saw Massimo was giving me that deadpan look. I'm like, yo, something's up, man. Something's up. And then when Massimo had like, so by the way, can I spoil what happens to me in the film, or should I keep that at
No, go ahead.
Okay, so
Mario was the love interest.
Oh yeah.
You said it.
No, but
You spoiled it, nigga. They're not surprised anymore.
I know. But
Are you telling me he's a cuckold?
more than that. No, but what happened was Maxwell had like his hands around me because I got choked up in the film, and then apparently because Maxwell had that like face that, oh, I'm gonna kill you, cocksucker. I kept smiling throughout the entire time he was supposed to kill me, and then I think that
I remember that.
Yeah, I think that take was the longest take because I couldn't take him seriously at that
But
time.
didn't he tell you something?
Yeah, he goes.
While he was choking you, he was telling you, "Stop smiling."
No, he was going, stop smiling, or else Mario not come see you tonight. I'm like,
That's why every take that we did, because the shot was on Lenny as we were pulling back.
Yeah.
Lenny kept smiling at a certain point, and I'm like, oh. It was like every take Lenny kept smiling because you wouldn't stop talking, and Massimo was doing that line.
Yeah.
So
no, but
we blew like 4 takes on that.
Basically, Claudio prepared himself for getting choked while watching Full Metal Jacket. Is that what happened?
Exactly. Now that you mentioned it, exactly that.
Oh, that was exactly. But I'm like, you know what, Massimo. I don't, because I think at one point, because there was a joke I did with Massimo. At one point, I'm like, bro, you're not even able to kill me. You won't be able to choke me out. And then in this film, well, he chokes me the fuck out, and then I'm like, bro, you're never gonna get me. but I want to say something like I really thought, I'm gonna be in the sequel. You're not, like as a joke. But so now we also have comments from Mel Azaf. Claudio, you were smiling when he wanted to kill you. You were ready, always. And then Jess Sorrell's like, hi, Anthony. Hi, Anita. Hi, Joey.
Hi.
Hey, Jess, you still didn't answer Joey's question about what time it is. Please.
Yeah, she did. She did. It's 8:30 in the morning or 8:40 in the morning.
Oh, okay. All right.
She did.
Oh, she did.
Yeah,
Oh,
she did.
On
She
the
did.
comments.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
not PM. It's AM.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Alexa, what time is it in Australia?
You see what you're starting, Jess? You're starting a whole debate. Oh man.
Not New Zealand. We don't care about it.
It's
Australia.
11:39 a.m.
Oh, okay, perfect.
What time?
Okay.
11:39 a.m.
11.
It's 11:39.
But Alexa just said that. No, sorry, Alexa. She just said that Australia has multiple time zones.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I
So in
see.
Sydney, it's 11:39.
Okay, Jess, you have to be more specific.
Is it Jess is in Perth, right?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
she's in Perth, somewhere in that kangaroo hopping.
Jess, tell her. Jess, I have family in in Adelaide, which is and I've been there. Adelaide's beautiful. And Sydney, I've been to Sydney as well, and it's beautiful. It's but I like they do have different time zones.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, Jess is from Perth, and also before we continue, the Joful podcast. By the way, get in touch with the Joful podcast. They're the most amazing people on the face of the earth. Jess, does a toilet swirl the other way when you flush?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
think it does.
That's
Oh,
the Bart Simpson question.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Kind of doesn't make sense if you're from Australia and never get out, because compared to what?
Compared to us, North America.
Yes, well, yeah, I know for us, but imagine you're from Australia and it's like the toilet swirl the other way around, and it's like the other way from what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's true. So now going back, okay, so Melbourne's 3 hours ahead of Perth. Cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so now I want to focus a little bit on the engagement, because we spoke a little bit about night shift. So tell me a little bit about the engagement and how is it working with Tony Calabretta, by the way?
Cool. Yeah,
He's
it's Tony
He's great.
Calabretta. Yeah. Joe, you want to say something?
No, I think Tony Calabretta is great. He's very professional. He was the first actor we met for the engagement, aside from Michaela. We actually had a coffee with him, you, me, and David.
Okay.
And he was very open, telling me what to do. He was very open to suggestions. He was very generous with his time. He's a good all-around good guy.
Cool.
Yeah, he was super sweet. Even on night shift, he was just very open and very, willing to, do whatever we thought was right for the role. And he just basically sat down in front of the camera and did his thing.
Cool. Awesome. And
it was fun to watch him because, I mean, I guess this is the kind of like the situation for all actors. Like, you get into your character, but for Tony, there was this sort of like distinct thing where you say action and it's like a light switch. He goes from being Tony to like the character, and it's a little jarring sometimes to just watch the person like completely change in front of your eyes. So
in the engagement, he was a sweet father, and this one here, he was the bad guy, and so
he might have been a sweet father to his kids in this movie too. We didn't develop that side of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, good points. I mean, and both times he just, he did his thing and he performed really well. And I like Calabretta. I like him a lot because he, even like he does change when he plays, in Night Shift he plays a mobster. In the engagement he's the father. But there's it's like that sympathetic, cool demeanor that he has. Like in the Night Shift, he's he's the boss in the film, but he's basically he's got that air about him that he's so confident that he doesn't need to be he doesn't show his power or the means that he has to basically whack you if he wants to. You know what I mean? Like when he talks to Massimo's character, he's basically very sympathetic. He's he's asking him questions, he's getting him to talk. So I mean, he's very good. Yeah.
Nice. No, awesome. It's he's an awesome guy. And you know what? In the engagement, like if you guys didn't watch the engagement, you should watch it. It's on Vimeo. It's by a film by Joe Rossley. And this the opening. I'm like, holy man, the opening was intense.
And look, when so that was at the beginning. Like I basically I met up with Joe after a long time.
Oh, that was I get an email on LinkedIn. Not even emails. It was on LinkedIn. And I'm like, who sends emails on LinkedIn?
Me.
And it says, Joe Rossi, this is Andy Calabresa. I hope you remember me. You went to school with my wife. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I remember you. And he presents me. He says, I'm working on this story.
Yeah.
Called The Engagement. So we met at Tim. We met at Tim Hortons near your house.
Probably, yeah.
And he gives me a 40-page screenplay that he wants to shoot in 2 days. I'm like, yeah, have fun with that. because there's stunts, there's fights, there's like 15 characters. I mean, it was much bigger than than the film we did. So I think I said to you off the bat, it's very thick. It's a very, very thick screenplay that I think we're going to have to really we'll try to get all what you want, but we'll compress it to, I think it was 17 pages originally.
Yeah, we kept working on it. We kept cutting it down.
Yeah, and once we cut it down, you said we had Michaela was attached to it. Michaela DeCesare was attached to it, and from there it kind of we got Calabretta. Then we met Catherine King and
Ellen
David, and that is actually funny because Anita, that's what we called you after a little hiatus that you and me took.
Yeah.
From our projects in the past. And
I was at the dog park, and you were trying to explain this project to me, and they were just yapping dogs all around me, and like my dog was like trying to start a family with all the dogs around it.
So I'm trying to explain to her on the phone. It's a story about a woman who falls in love with a woman on an engagement, and she's at a dog park, and I'm like, okay.
Cheers, men. Cheers. I mean, dogs barking.
I think you better call me when you get home. And I'm glad you agreed to do it because we work well together. I've worked with Anita since I've known you since high school, since Lester B. Pearson.
Jesus.
Yeah. And you were in the same grade as my cousin, and I told Anthony I have this perfect person that's helped us produce this film, and I think she'd knock it out of the park. And we're 3 films in so far, no problem.
Yeah, no, I really, and I have to say, I don't mean to put Anita on the spot now, just talking about Anita, but really, like going back to what I was saying. In terms of the film company, again, I was on my own, Lonely Path Films. I was like, I had like these stories, and this one stood out for me. But I realized that if I was going to make this, because I did have like so many pages, I knew I had to work with people, but I had to work with the right people. And then it was my wife that actually reminded me about Joe, and I remember speaking to him some years ago about movies, and I remember we had the few times that we talked, it was very positive. And then once I met with him, it clicked, and then I had the opportunity to meet Anita and David, and like once like Anita, in terms of like putting this thing together, like a phenomenal job. Like just you need. Like Anita's the kind of person that you need to keep you in check, or just basically organize stuff and make sure that everything flows nicely. And so when you have like Joe and Anita and then David, sort of like you have that support, and then everything becomes easier. And honestly, like the film, like the story was like 40 pages long. I would have never, we wouldn't have been able to do it at 40 pages.
There was a massive food fight in the middle of the engagement, and once all the people, stunts and punches and fights, and I'm like, I got 2 days to do this for $300, whatever it was. We're gonna pay for this.
Yeah, whatever it was.
And there was no way we would have done it. So I think for the best, it really turned out the way I think we envisioned it. Like. How would you like? I think it's one of my favorite films I've made is The Engagement.
Yeah, sorry, Anita, you were going to say something?
Well, I was going to say, Joey's been making like shorts and even like a couple of small features for a long time, and often on a shoestring budget. All the time on a shoestring budget. And so the good thing with working with Joey is that he'll look at a script and just be like, this works, this doesn't work. Yeah, we can pull this off. Yes, we can movie magic this and make it happen or whatever. And so
Anita and I, we did a feature Commitments in like 20 days, and only on weekends in the month of August in 2006, and it was an 80-page screenplay.
Yeah,
for no money, and it actually turned out a decent little film.
Yeah, I mean, considering how old we were and our experience and what we had to work with.
Yeah, nothing. We had nothing.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good, and so it's like it's such a good base to work from, and so to like be able to look at a script and see how you can make it work logistically and creatively. That's man, that's all Joey.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so
It's,
I
we work pretty well as a team in the sense that we just really take advantage of each other's strengths.
yes, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that basically that's what happened. But we got lucky as well because we had more support from the main actor, which was Michele Di Cesare.
Yeah.
Because she basically, we were looking for sort of feedback, and she was very generous with her time. And also, Catherine King, who's another fine actor, she gave us a lot of feedback as well. And so we tried our best to because I mean, there was a lot there, and and when you have this story and you sort of you don't know what to do with it, you need the right people to say, okay, we can do this, but only if we start shaping it this way. And that's basically what happened, and we followed through, and then one thing led to another, and the engagement did well, and after that we were able to do a couple more.
Nice, awesome. Okay, well, this is awesome. I just love your energy. You guys, again, are amazing people. So now, this is a general question for everyone here. So, where do you think the cinema is heading in a couple of years? And do you think movie theaters are going to be closed down, and you have like Apple TV, Netflix, and the whole shebang? Do you think that will be the new stream services instead of going to the movies? What do you guys think, and why?
Joe, you want to start?
Whichever.
I think, and I'm a big cinema person. You're talking to a person. I went to the movies at least twice a week when we had movies at the cinema. Ever since February, this is the longest time I've spent at not going to the cinema. From February to now, it drives me up a wall because I prefer to watch it over there. I have no choice but to stream. But I believe unless they figure out a way to accommodate this whole pandemic thing, that I don't think cinemas are going away. I think cinemas are going to become almost like a Broadway style theater in which only the big movies are going to play, and you're going to pay a premium to go see these big movies in the big venue with the big plush seats. I think that's where it's going to be. I think that's where it's going to head. Even though I hope it doesn't head, but I think that's what's going to happen eventually. I think it's not cost effective to make a $300 million film to put it on a streaming service. They're not going to make their money the amount of money they want. You know, an Avengers Endgame will not make $3 billion on streaming. Okay. And Disney knows it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I want to talk. Let's have also the co-producer Joey Flam answer. What do you think, bro? Do you think theaters are gonna go extinct, or do you think it's not gonna go extinct? Joey.
Who, me?
What?
No, the other Joey. The guy next to you. Joey LaFleur. Yeah. There's two Joey.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jess had a pretty good system. Like you had a Joey R and Joey L. Maybe you might want to give it a try.
All right, Joey L, what do you think?
Well, I don't have a really horse on that race, honestly. Like one of the last time I went to cinema, it was to watch Star Wars Force Awakens, and there were fucking kids behind me kicking my seat all night long. So that's how I came up to write all those pedophile jokes and getting beaten jokes.
You had the wrong seats. You had the wrong seats. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Like I couldn't follow the movie. I had in my head like a clear vision of me getting the kid by the throat and throwing down the balcony. But no, in all seriousness, I think there'll always be a kind of a niche market for cinema in a way, like people that likes to go to cinema just for the whole ambience and the decorum and seeing a movie in a plushy seat and really comfy seat while eating popcorn and stuff, and getting their seat kicked by some kids, turning around and the dad being like this. There's a charm for that, I guess. But like for the big mainstream public, I'm not sure about it. Like especially in Quebec when it's winter, you want to find a reason not to go out. So if the movies start coming on Netflix and everything, that's pretty much the beginning of the end for like a big mainstream kind of cinema. I think it's going to be more a niche thing.
Okay. All
Call
right.
me,
Call
me a traditionalist
Yeah,
here,
sure.
but I think that I don't think that movie theaters will be eliminated completely. I think as long as, what Joy was saying, as long as blockbusters are being made, there's going to be an audience who's going to go see them in the movie theater. There's, there's something special about going there and like having this like massive 100-foot or whatever screen in front of you, THX, surround sound, Dolby 9.1, whatever it is, blasting. It's just like, sensory, a feast for the senses, right?
Yeah.
And it's not something, it's not something most people can reproduce at home. There are people with like home theaters and whatever, but like, most people have like, even most
I can't.
tech savvy people will have like their sound bar and like maybe like a 16 screen or whatever, but it's not going to give you the same experience, right?
For
At
sure.
the same time, if cinema takes like a similar role to music, like streaming just turned the whole music industry upside down.
Yeah.
People aren't really buying like physical, people buy vinyl because it's like a novelty or whatever, like a sort of like old school novelty kind of thing, but it really is all streaming now. So I think, like Joy was saying, like if there's like a grandiose movie, then it'll have an audience, but for like small art house flicks, there aren't like small art house cinemas anymore, or like they're few and far between. And so I think,
I saw a couple of them in Quebec City. Like for our really artsy movie, I feel that the kind of crowd that will watch that kind of stuff, they'd rather be in a cinema, watch it instead of being at home.
But what I was talking about is can what's happening now support that? I mean, these people have to pay rent. I mean,
exactly.
It's been 6 months from where they haven't been receiving any guests. I mean, is it worth it to keep it open? I don't think so.
No,
if it continues, I mean.
Yeah, no, honestly, I was gonna say because obviously I work at a movie theater, and I'll be honest with you, coming back to work was really sad. Like it was at a point of where we're showing movies that were $5. But it was just really sad. And the fact that everything was postponed and the only films that were coming out were the New Mutants and Tenant, it's not the same. It's not the same. And literally on my last day of work, the manager's like, okay, we're closing out for 28 days, maybe more. But I think going to the cinema, like, look, we're all movie buffs. We love cinema. We love genre of films. But I'm like, you know what? At this rate, will it survive? I don't know. Like, for example, I was really shook when Scorsese's The Irishman came out on Netflix. That for me was it hit me a little bit because I'm like, this is a great piece of work. It's a great piece of art. And we're watching it on our phones or on our laptops or on our TV.
But you have to understand, Claudio, who's going to pay for a movie that's $200 million if it's not going to make $200 million? Netflix has unlimited cash, is in a deficit of $13 billion. They don't care if they lose money. They just want people to subscribe.
Yeah. True.
And look at his next one, a $200 million Western. Apple and Paramount are splitting the bill.
Which one? Which one?
Killers of the Flower Moon. It's about It's DiCaprio, it's De Niro, and it's Scorsese in a period piece in the 1920s in Oklahoma. It's $200 million. It's not going to make $200 million.
No.
Though that film won't make $200 million. That's why Apple wants it for streaming, so more people will subscribe to Apple. And I agree with you. I want to see Scorsese stuff on the screen. Pardon?
Yeah.
Do you know how much they're paying for the license?
Oh, I have no idea. I know it was a $200 million budget. Everyone started freaking out.
Yeah.
So you talk about a director who's so accustomed to making $40 million movies that his last two films cost $175 and $200 million.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, but like Claudia was saying, I want to see a Scorsese film on the big screen. I saw his movie Silence. To me, it was a masterpiece.
That was great.
To me, I was the only person in the cinema when I saw Silence, because Silence didn't make a dime.
Yeah,
it's a hard sell. A 3-hour film about Jesuit priests in the 16th century.
It was brutal. It was
where do I stand?
Yeah, exactly. It's not a night at the movies.
Yeah.
Speaking of making money, Irishman. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was going to say, just to compliment what Joy was saying, there is something about having like the shared experience of watching a movie in theaters.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
it's like fireworks, the oohs and ahs all around you. They kind of like
Yeah, people clapping. Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
Yeah.
try watching a comedy at home. It's not the same as having a whole audience
True.
laugh.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen
Even
that. Yeah.
even
Sorry, go ahead.
stand-up comedy. Even
It's
stand-up
same thing.
comedy, watching it from home, it's bad. It's better to go watch it live.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. No, it's sad. Joy L, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, basically, I was talking. I was about to because I just checked about The Irishman. Like the movie, the budget was like around 159 to 350 million, and it just made something like 8 million. They lost a fuck ton of money.
Well, that's the thing though, because Netflix doesn't release box office. So whatever
Yeah.
it made or you're looking at is actual cinema release. It was
Oh,
only
okay.
out for about a month. I saw it on
Yeah.
the big screen at I saw it at the Cinema de Cari, the $1
yeah.
cinema. That's the
Yeah.
only place it
Oh.
played. Because all cinemas in Quebec were denouncing it because it went straight to streaming services.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't show
I
it.
see.
So that's why they're making a little bit of money theatrically, but the rest is on streaming. So
Oh yeah.
how does Netflix justify making its money back? It doesn't, because they just throw money. Look how much stuff they make.
Yeah.
They don't make money. Their deficit keeps growing and growing and growing, but they don't care because they get subscribers.
They get investment also.
That's
mainly it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that kind of tech company, they don't care if they make money or not.
No, they
As
don't.
long as they can keep the cash flow coming by the investors and stuff, they're fine.
Yeah, it's like Disney. Disney's my favorite
Yeah.
because does Disney make money on the movies? Of course they do. They make more money on the theme parks. That's why they're bleeding now, because the theme parks are closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, does anybody want to mention anything else about Disney? Because I have like a little story about that actually.
Tell us.
let's get to
Go
the
ahead,
story.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joyelle. What were you saying, Joyelle?
Oh, go ahead with your
Oh.
story. I was about to say something stupid about South Park and Mickey Mouse beating up the Jonas Brothers. Best day of my life.
That was good. So my friend's wife wanted to see a Mulan, right? So
Yeah.
he subscribed to Disney Plus, and then he also she's like, I want to see it. We goes, okay. So he actually paid $30 extra. 40 came out with taxes, and it was the worst garbage he's ever seen in his life. But I'm like, you know what? Disney Plus, like a lot of people are not subscribing to it anymore because, you know, it's, what do you have besides the Mandalorian? You know, is it really worth signing up with Disney Plus? And now you got to pay like $40 extra to watch Mulan. It's disgusting, you know.
Just wait till December. Mulan's gonna be for free. It's gonna be with the regular
Yeah,
subscription.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, it's just.
But
$40,
but
those
what
guys are.
but think about it. If you wanted to take a family of 4 to go see Mulan at the cinema, you're gonna pay
Yeah.
$75.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
That's what they're doing, and that's going to be, look at HBO Max. They just did it with Robert Zemeckis' next film, Melissa McCarthy's next film. It's going to go straight to streaming with a premium price.
Well, actually, I was an extra in the movie Clouds. So basically, it's about a sick teenager. He's out living. You
I'll
know,
be back.
okay, and he has a few people. Well, no, he's dying of cancer, right? So I'm playing one of these guys selling artifacts in the old port. So last year when they were making the film, they were like, they're debating if Warner Brothers is going to take it, Summit Entertainment. Now it's on Disney Plus. So originally on Disney Plus, they were going to be like, we're going to do another pay for $30 for access this film, but the other companies that went with Disney Plus, like, no, because we're not going to lose a lot of money doing this. So basically, to say, like, I think Disney Plus is a garbage streaming service, but hey, that's just me. What do I know? I just like films, but it's just sad. It's just sad. Like, you think, like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm sending up a subscription to watch a certain movie, but then I gotta pay $40 more. Like, no.
Well, then you have to wait till December, and it's gonna be part of your subscription.
Exactly.
Mulan, but no matter what, I didn't like Mulan. I paid for it. I didn't like the movie at all. Again, if I took my wife and my 2 kids to go see it, I'd be paying through the nose. Even at that, it's still a success because it still made its money back.
Yeah.
Production budget back. So
Yeah.
now everything they make is just pure profit. They don't have to split nothing with the cinemas. That's the enticing part.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. So now, actually, Jofo actually brought up an important question. Do you think a voice actor voicing a role of a character of a different race is racist or not? What do you all think about this and why?
Nice job putting them on the spot, Claudio.
I'm just having a conversation. I don't know.
It's not controversial at all. They won't. They won't. You just see Anita being like, what the heck?"
Well, no, 'cause it was that.
You're talking to a bunch of people that literally grew up with, let's say, Hank Azaria playing half the characters on The Simpsons, and he did it brilliantly.
Yeah.
And I understand that he stopped playing Apu because of the backlash and that the documentary that came out about that. He stopped playing Carl. They actually cast a new Carl for the new season.
Really?
A black actor, and apparently he's very good. He's almost like identical to the voice. So
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm okay
I
with
don't
it.
know if it's racist. I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't think it's necessarily racist, but given that there are a lot of people in those demographics now who are available as like voice actors or actors, whatever, I think it would be culturally insensitive to not cast a person of that demographic if they're available.
Okay.
Yeah. So, intentionally racist, maybe not, but culturally insensitive, I would say yes.
Yes, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. But how
Okay,
about this
so-
one? How about this one? Sorry, Joey.
Oh, that's cool.
A couple years ago, Scarlett Johansson wanted to play a
Ghost in the Shell.
not Ghost in the Shell. That was complete. Let's not even talk about the movie. I'm not talking about the quality of that. That was just trash. She wanted to play a transgender woman in a movie called Rub and Tug, and she was and people and the community went nuts saying you should get a transgender actress to play that role. And if you can find a great one, by all means. But I think the whole point of being an actor is to play parts that you wouldn't play.
Yeah, that remind me a bit of Bill Burr, basically, where he was talking about that Bryan Cranston movie where he was playing a paraplegic guy, a quadriplegic, and people were pissed because he didn't manage to find a quadriplegic. I'm like, the fuck, man? What? You just have to sit around and pretend that he can't move. I mean,
well, it's show
why
business.
would you need an? It's fucking acting.
You have to get a bank. You have to make money, so you have to put a face that people will pay to go see.
Oh, absolutely.
So that would mean, following that logic, that at the end of Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio have to die. I'm sorry, he has to die because it's like insensitive to like make sure a living person play a dead guy.
But then,
or they should have used the corpse.
Exactly.
But then he wakes up in Inception. That's the most dumbest logic I've ever heard in my life. Like, yeah.
Acting is make believe. So the whole point of being an actor, wouldn't you want to play someone you're not?
Exactly.
Gay, straight, trans, who cares? I mean, it's the whole point.
Yeah.
I understand, like John Wayne. I understand John Wayne playing Genghis Khan. What the fuck?
No, forget that.
I mean,
no.
Fuck's sake!
When it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah, there.
Like Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh God, yeah, that was. Or Johnny Knoxville in The Ringer. Oh man, that's you know what? Say what you want, and I feel like a little bit of an asshole laughing at this, but I saw The Ringer yesterday. I'm like, okay, let me see how bad this movie. I'm like, holy crap!
No, it's actually good.
Yeah, it's awesomely bad. Like it's entertaining bad because I'm like,
oh no, I thought it was really funny because before watching it's kind of an old movie by now, and before watching it, I'm like, yeah, we all thought about like cheating and that's way winning easy money, like going into the Special Olympics and thinking we're like beating all of these guys, like thinking like, oh yeah, they're just retards, we're fine. And then you see that movie where he's fucking struggling because they're actually athletes.
Yeah.
It's a bad movie, but it's good bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Exactly.
more on the good side of being good and bad, actually.
Actually, no, I remember I had a date during that, and like my very first ex-girlfriend. She goes, "Hey, what do you want to go see?" I'm like, "Oh, let's go see The Ringer." She goes, and that face she had like a complete. She goes, "Oh, okay." So we go see it. I'm laughing because I'm like, "Hey, this is bad, like really good bad, like what the hell are you doing?" And then my ex-girlfriend just turns to me like this. And she goes, I want to go home. And I'm like, oh, okay, like she didn't live too far from the movie theater. So, and then she went in without me, and I'm like, wow, this is a horrible date night. This is
Pick a
but
better
that's
movie,
South
man.
Park that did it better, though.
yeah.
You had Cartman trying to pretend to be retarded, and then he studied too much how to be a good retard than actually how to be a good athlete, and he got fucked during the competition. That was
Oh
the
yeah,
worst.
Actually, speaking of that, if you ever go, we've all watched the South Park movie, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It
I
still
didn't
holds
see
up
it.
to this day. It's still a very, very funny movie.
Oh, it's great.
It's a great movie.
Anita's like, that's great, fuckers.
No, I know she would like it. She liked it.
No, I liked it. That wasn't sarcasm.
No, that was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was good.
It was really good. No,
Okay.
also Team America World Police, now
Oh, yeah.
more than ever, probably is like pretty
Oh, yeah.
relevant.
That one.
Yeah.
But see, that wouldn't get made today.
No.
Not in a million years.
No, it could. Oh yeah, no, like remember, well, no, because actually I was reading about sequels that are coming out now. Borat is coming out, and apparently it's not as funny. Like Sacha Baron Cohen had a hard time filming the second one because the first one, if you've seen Borat, well, you know, it had some.
Once you see it once, I can't watch it again.
Oh yeah, same.
I find it doesn't hold. I didn't get that same reaction seeing it again. So I'm like, it's a one-time wonder for me, that film.
I don't know. I'll rewatch it again. Just fascinated by because I saw the trailer and that seemed pretty interesting. Like how dumb he is and how much he can like make dumb people say stupid shit. Like when he was in that redneck house when he was asking which is the biggest threat, the Democrats or the COVID-19, and the answer without hesitating, the Democrats. Like.
Oh.
Yeah, it's always stuff like that.
But I think it's run its course, that character. I mean, we know his shtick, and I'm like, majority of the people know his shtick, so he must get the real people that have no idea who this guy is.
Doesn't know him.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
it's been a while now. So
it came out, I think 2006. It came out. I think.
Yeah,
What was the
yeah,
last
Well,
one?
so 13
Pardon?
years ago, I'm pretty sure you can still find people that doesn't
Oh,
know what
yeah.
the movie is about.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Anthony, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his last one? What was the last one he did?
I
I think the last one I saw was Bruno.
Bruno
Oh,
was
yeah.
good, yeah.
Yeah,
It was okay.
He wasn't a serious movie where he was a spy.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
yeah.
that's a
I like
series.
that one.
That's a series.
Oh,
Isn't it?
yeah. You're right. That's a series. And now he's
There's
coming
a
out.
dictator too.
Yeah,
Yeah, and now he's coming out with the Trial of the Chicago
Chicago
Seven.
7 with actually another. It's with Aaron Sorkin, who actually like and then the Spy was a good one. Alice Through a Looking Glass, Grimsby, Anchorman 2, Les Miserables. Like Sacha Baron Cohen's actually a good actor.
He's actually,
Yeah,
if you guys watch, he did a Tim Burton film, Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
He played a nemesis barber of Johnny Depp's character. He
Yeah.
was excellent in that. He's very good. He's very good.
Oh yeah, he is. He is. So all right. So now I want to go on.
Speaking, just speaking about Borat, because there's something funny that's funny we talk about it, because I had a weird interaction about that movie yesterday. Like, I was speaking to a couple of friends and they told me like Borat is a fucking dumb movie, and the only scene they like is the one where there's that guy jerking off and they start fighting each other naked everywhere. Like, I'm like, dude, that's the dumbest fucking scene in the whole movie. And that's, you see the movie started.
Get out of here, please.
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
Listen,
say goodnight.
I remember I saw
Okay.
that with a packed house.
My daughter wants to say goodnight, guys.
Good night.
Say goodnight.
Hold on,
Yeah, because
someone wants to say goodnight to you.
Say goodnight.
Good night.
Right.
Okay, that's it.
Right.
Man, what a cute,
Go, go, go,
what
go.
a cute cat.
Danita has a cat and not a penguin.
Yeah. Don't worry, you guys. I'll make
Yeah.
that
Now the kids are in bed, I can stop doing my PG stuff.
Nice, nice.
But she couldn't hear you anyway.
Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
that's great. So I could fucking swear since the
That's
fucking
it. Yeah.
Well, not.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. My cat is still here.
Oh,
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh man. So someone. So Joyelle, what are you saying? Kept saying about Borat?
Yeah, I just said basically. I just told the anecdote. Like, basically, somebody told me it's a dumb movie, but their favorite scene is basically the dumbest scene of the whole movie.
Yeah.
The
All right.
stupidity is the bluest fucking scene in the whole movie.
Hey, but can you believe that film was nominated for best screenplay at the Oscars?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
He got
it
a best
was.
original screenplay nomination for a film that I thought was completely improvised.
I know.
It was actually.
It was.
No, it
was
didn't win. It
beautiful.
didn't win.
I know, but it was
It's kind of
beautiful.
the kind of movie with two actors and that's all. Like, the rest is just people he pranked.
But
Hey,
that's,
man.
that's it.
Hey man, that's hilarious. Like when
Yeah.
I saw it was winning, it got nominated. I'm like, no, it can't be, and it
Yeah,
can't be.
screenplay. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
best screenplay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. Oh man. So now I want to ask you all a question, and this is an individual question. Which film director or producer, which film director and producer do you want to work with, and why?
Alive, right?
Yeah.
Neither. Go
Could be
first.
that too.
Joe
Yeah,
Rogan,
yeah.
1980.
Alive or dead? Happy now, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Wes Anderson. He's amazing.
He's such an underrated director.
He's just I love his method of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I love his like mise en scène.
Yeah.
Everything is just he creates a universe for his his movies are okay, forget about his like animated stuff, but his live action stuff. His movies are based in reality.
Yeah.
But he creates this like very sort of like unique universe for his characters, and it's just everybody has their own sort of like little idiosyncrasies, and like they're unmistakable. And I don't know, like for me, I fall in love with them every time I watch them. And for me, like Royal Tenenbaums is the apex of all of that. I think it's so amazing.
Yeah, I know. You know what? The Royal Tenenbaums for me, it was that, and it was the one with the whole the Grand Budapest Hotel. Those are my
That
favorite.
was great. That
That
was
was
great.
amazing.
The other ones, I'm like, I don't know. Like Family Guy made a perfect joke about him. And now you're watching a Wes Anderson film. Camera pans up, pans down, guy smoking. The end. I'm like, okay. He's right about some things, you know. All right.
He got the essence. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anita, do you want to keep going, or we could go on, switch on to Joe? Do you have any other things you want to say about Wes Anderson?
Wes Anderson, I love Wes Anderson.
If you're listening,
I love Wes Anderson. I think he's great. Like Anita says, his best film is The Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah.
I love the Grand Budapest Hotel. Basically, for the fact that it's a completely he does completely original work. So you don't find, aside from, there's only like a handful of filmmakers now that are completely original. You have the Coens, you have Wes Anderson, you have Tarantino, just completely original voices that just don't bend to mainstream, and they make money. The Grand Budapest Hotel actually made quite a bit of money, and it's nice to see a film like a whimsical little film like that do well, and it's good for the industry. It's good for people to actually study him because he's really a true American original, which we don't have much.
No, really. So who's your? So you're going with Wes Anderson?
No, not at all. No, I love Wes Anderson. I'm not gonna pick Spielberg because he's my favorite. I'm not gonna pick Scorsese because he's the best. If I have to pick director right now, it would be the Coen brothers.
Okay.
The Coen brothers to me are true originals. To me, Fargo is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
A pure masterpiece. I think I can watch that movie every day and I can find something new in it. And it's only 90 minutes long. That's what shocks me to hell. It's such a brief film, but it's so packed with humanity. Yeah. It just works. Then you have Inside Llewellyn Davis. You have True Grit.
True Grit is my favorite one.
Oh, True Grit's awesome. It's awesome. The cinematography in that is completely. It's a work of art. Roger Deakins is a master. Yeah. But it will be the Coen brothers alive. Okay. Dead. Well, I have a bunch. So.
Okay. So now we're gonna go Joel. Who would you work with in a movie? It could be anything. It can also be porn if you want. Who would you work with?
Fuck no. No, I'm not sure I want to work in movie actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know that a lot of stand-ups do stand-ups to be actor. I don't care. I just want to be a stand-up.
Okay.
But if I had to play in a movie, I'd like it to be a Tarantino movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. And Chinema, who would you work with and why?
Oh, there's a bunch, but the ones that come to mind, Mel Brooks comes to mind. I'd love to work with Mel Brooks because the guy's brilliant, and I've seen so many of his movies. I think I've almost seen. I think the first movie that I saw was the Producers. I think of his. And I laughed my ass off.
Yeah,
that was good. Yeah. Then from there, Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein and 12 Chairs and the list goes on and on. And just his ability to work with actors. I enjoy filmmakers who can easily work with actors, and that's why Mel Brooks is one of them. Whenever you watch those documentaries about the films that he's made.
Yeah.
You always have, actors talking about the way he works, and he's an actor himself, which is cool. And so there's Mel Brooks, there's Francis Ford Coppola that I really like, and again it's his ability to work with actors. Quentin Tarantino, his ability to work with actors, but also in terms of having everything on his side, he's a director. He's a writer. He's a director. He's able to work with actors. Actors love him. His movies, like Joe said, he does his own thing, and he's very successful.
But also Tarantino started as an actor.
And he wanted to be an actor initially.
Yeah, that he's always said that help him to kind of understand movie in the perspective of an actor. So that's why he doesn't have any problem to work with actors.
Yeah, and that's true. And I heard him say, I remember watching that. Some maybe not a documentary, but or maybe a documentary. One of those short documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Coppola said Coppola was always able to find the right actor for a role. And he the one that comes to mind is obviously Al Pacino in The Godfather.
Yeah.
There are a lot of cool stories about him just wanting Al Pacino for his own reasons, and the company not wanting Al Pacino because he was an unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories out there about that.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And Clint Eastwood's another one.
Oh yeah, true.
And again, his ability to work with actors which is really cool. And he gets these guys get the most out of their actors, and they all have you hear the experiences of the actors are always very positive.
Yeah.
Well, I think for the most part.
Okay, cool.
Anthony,
always finishes his shoots ahead of time and under budget.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood. Yeah, actually, I think Quentin Tarantino's the same as well. Actually,
just to let you know, if anybody's interested, December 13th, I think, The Godfather 3 is coming back to cinemas. a whole new cut.
Wow.
Because the way he wanted to do it back in 1990.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
So he finally gave him the go-ahead because Robert Evans died.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
so he's doing it. He actually released, if anybody has a chance, if anyone has Amazon, it's on there right now. It's the Cotton Club Encore. His original vision for the Cotton Club back in 1984. If anyone has a chance to watch that film, it is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing, like with Francis Ford Coppola, like I really enjoy his work, but the interesting thing about him, if you look at Apocalypse Now, and he does the Redux, and so like I don't know how many times did he cut the version. I think there's
3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But every time he does something like that, it's fun. It's a phenomenal thing. I've seen Apocalypse Now like 100 times, and like in the different versions, and they're all great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like,
absolutely. No, you know what? Like the Apocalypse Now and Godfather, the first ones, I like one of my and The Conversation are my top 3.
Excellent.
They're my top 3 Francis Ford Coppola films. But it's and you know what? If you read about how Coppola did The Conversation, like he originally again, like what I love about Coppola is that almost all his films have to fight for his actors.
Exactly. And
So
but what's funny about that? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Claudio.
Oh, it's good.
Every story that you hear about Coppola fighting for his actors, the actors are phenomenal. Like in the end, they're right for the part. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's
absolutely. But like Gene Hackman. Like I used to like Gene Hackman, but at the same time, for The Conversation, when he didn't talk, I'm like, all right, this is really good. But I'm watching look, as much as I like Hackman, I found he was a little bit off with The Conversation. Maybe
That's an interesting compliment. Like, you're really nice as an actor, but when you start talking,
not
so much.
Well, I see the same, and now I want to go into, because for me, who's your favorite film director, Claudio? Christopher Nolan. I'd work with him, and I love Nolan. Like I'd work with him. He's a phenomenal. He's just a phenomenal film director. And his stories are complex, like especially Inception. I heard really good things about Tenet, but because I just love his visuals and his point of view. Like he takes like a superhero film like Batman, and he makes it not comic booky, and it's so realistic. I'm like, like The Dark Knight to this day still blows my mind. Like that's how fantastic.
The interesting,
because it isn't treated like a comic book film; it's a crime drama.
Exactly. Yeah.
But actually, the thing that's interesting is it was based on actual comic books, like the Batman: The Begin.
Yeah.
He took it from year one. If you read year one, the comic book, that's pretty much the whole movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it didn't make like let's say, and now I know I'm comparing it to a different director like Zack Snyder. I'm comparing apples with prunes. But I'm just saying, like Nolan could take something and make it realistic-ish. Like when you're when you're watching, say, for the Batman trilogy, right? You're not watching like a comic book film. You're watching a realistic crime film.
Yeah, but I think if you want to really succeed at making superhero movie, that's what you're aiming at, because comic books and cinema is two medium totally different with their own rules and particularities.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But,
and I agree with that. I think you have to separate the two.
Yeah.
I think a film is a film, a comic book is a comic book. If you start making a comic book as a movie, you end up with Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah.
Oh hey, you know what? That's my favorite guilty pleasure movie to this day. I don't know why.
Really?
Oh man, because I went to Walmart this week.
$5, right?
Yeah, it was 2 for $5. So I got the Batman films, old ones, and then
expensive though.
Oh fuck! You know what? I'm like Joe Schumacher.
If they're not paying you enough money to watch it, it's fucking tough.
Jesus Christ!
You know what? I'll say something. You know what? Joel Schumacher is a very good director, but he gets a bad rap because he made that one disaster.
2.
It's still a
Okay,
fucking
two
bad
disasters.
movie.
Two
Yeah, but
disasters.
wasn't
first
it?
one
It
is
was. I
not-
think it was successful though.
What,
That-
Batman?
that-
The second
first-
one wasn't. Batman
The second one
Forever.
wasn't?
No, Batman and
first
Robin
one-
wasn't. The
Right.
first one, the Forever was.
The Val
Batman and
Kilmer
Robin was
one.
not.
The first one kind of was meh. You kind of saw that he was trying to do the Adam West kind of shit,
Yeah.
but the other one was like full on a fucking Adam West
But even he
readaptation.
says it wasn't his fault. They had. If you watch the documentary on that disc, I think it's on that disc you bought. They have him saying the toys were made before they even shot a frame of film.
Yeah, actually,
So,
the
just
DVD
that
that I got.
alone
Yeah.
was
the-
kind of
the-
bare bones, right?
Yeah, no, the DVD I got is just 4 movies. Here are the movies, play, scenes, and that's it. There's no behind the scenes. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it for fun. And then I'm watching. I was watching one of them. I'm like, thank God it's $5.
Yeah.
Thank God it's
Imagine.
$5. Ah, man, But
Hey, but listen, everyone has their guilty
It's
pleasure.
very generous of them.
oh yeah,
I do.
absolutely.
Now we know about Claudio's shameful guilty pleasures. Do you guys have any guilty pleasure of that sort?
Yeah. Do you have
Yeah.
Oh, I got good. I got one. If David Magini were here, he would laugh me off the screen. But I'll go last. Anthony, what's your favorite guilty pleasure?
So you're talking about films, right?
A movie that everybody thinks it fucking sucks, but for some reason you like it.
Yeah. Labyrinth.
Labyrinth?
Labyrinth's
Yeah.
good. What are you talking about?
Bad movie.
Yeah, but I mean, not everybody. It is good, right? But I mean, you talk about it like what Labyrinth, but yeah, Howard the Duck.
Oh, that's
Hey,
bad.
oh my God, that's awesome. I mean, guys, you're right. It's a totally bad movie. Man, I love that.
Anita.
I have 2, and they're both comedies. One is There's Something About Mary.
Oh my God.
That has
Funny.
me. That has me in
Something About
stitches every time I watch it. And the other one I haven't seen it in years, but I used to watch it like almost every night. Don't ask me why. It had Ryan Reynolds in it. It was called Waiting.
Oh my God. Yes, I saw that movie in theaters with my second ex-girlfriend. Oh my God, that was
It's
great.
not- it's not-
Yeah,
was-
Waiting is really
that was
good.
Anna Faris?
Yes.
Yes.
No,
The
I can't
only-
seen that.
Oh
That's
my
bad.
There's a sequel, by the way, huh?
Hey, there's a sequel for that. Still
yeah, I don't know if I'm
waiting.
ready for the
Right?
sequel.
Still waiting.
Still waiting.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesomely bad. Like to a point that where like one of the characters like, "Hey guys, we're back in the same restaurant," and then Louis Guzman's back goes, "Yeah, after 8 years, you think we'd be doing something with our lives? Or no, we came back." And then Try McBride, he who's one of the cooks, he's like, "Man, where's the main character?" Oh yeah, he thinks he's big, so he went on to something else. So we're still in this shitty restaurant. I'm like, I just loved it. That scene alone was pure effing genius.
When did it come out?
Oh, it came out. Oh, it went straight to stream service like a few years ago.
No, that came out before 2010, I think, right?
In the U.S., it came out in 2009. Here, it came out around 2010, 2011, around there.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
I
not
was
Well,
so
that's
much
fine and
fan.
good, but Joey, you're kind of trying to escape the question. What is
Me?
your,
Oh, I know. Mine is Congo, the greatest talking
Congo.
gorilla movie ever made.
I think it's on
That's the-
Amazon Prime right now.
It is. Yeah, exactly. It's one of the it's a horrid film, but to me, I can watch it I saw it at the cinema. I actually paid to see a talking gorilla movie at the cinema because when that came out, they were saying from the guys who created the effects for Jurassic Park. It was Stan Winston who did the makeup of the apes.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this movie, and it's horrid, but I loved it because it's that bad. It's extremely bad, and it's great because it's bad.
Oh God.
I have a few actually. Did you guys ever watch Enemy Mine?
Yeah, I saw that.
Enemy Line.
Enemy Mine. It's old
with
science
Dennis
fiction movie.
Dennis Quaid? No.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Dennis Quaid. I haven't seen it in a while, but
Pretty
every
good.
time I watch it, and it's all the way through, and it's just I don't know why I just get hooked. I don't know why. Enemy Mine.
It's not a bad movie though.
Yeah.
It was beaten down by the critics.
You know what? I just it's one of those movies that I never bring up, but I always end up watching. And so like because I don't think anybody else has watched it, but
Okay, it's really niche, I think.
Yeah, yeah. At that point, yeah. So one of the Jofo podcast, they were saying, do you guys watch any Korean films?
I've seen
Quite
some.
a lot.
Yeah,
I've seen some.
I saw one actually. Train to Busan,
Busan. Excellent.
and then there's a sequel, Peninsula, which it was honestly well, before the pandemic and before the theater closed down, I managed to watch Peninsula, and you know what, my jaw dropped because it was that's a zombie film, and that's how you make a zombie film, and I was shocked. But like I remember I was at work and I'm looking at the list of movies that are coming out. I'm like, holy shit, Peninsula, and it says Train to Busan presents. Like, oh my god! And then I watched Train to Busan again. I'm like, this is beautiful. Like I find to me that's the most underrated Korean film I've ever seen. And then also there's the Korean version of the Departed. That one, except for the music.
yes. What's the title of that movie?
Oh my god, yes. Let me find
Infernal
it.
The part that is the American
Infernal
version
Affairs.
of Internal
Yeah,
Affair.
I watched that.
Yeah. But
So
except for the
basically,
music.
you have an inception of like other country version. Like Departed is an American version of Internal Affair,
Yeah.
which that Korean movie is a Korean version of the American movie.
Yeah, exactly. But the Internal Affair, it was good until they have the cheesy music, and
Isn't
you
it
really,
Infernal
It's
Affairs.
an
I
Asian
think.
movie.
yeah, Asian movies are good, but their music
Music.
scores are hit or miss sometimes. But
Yeah.
Peninsula, the score was beautiful. I was just I'm like, all right, this is good.
For Fantasia, I saw a Korean movie last time I went there. It was called VIP.
I
It's
heard of
about,
it.
Yeah, it's about some kid which his father is really one of the highest ranking politicians in North Korea, and he happens to be a serial killer. But his family is now hunt down by the power, so now he's hidden in South Korea because his father has a lot of money, obviously. So there's all that kind of mouse and cat type of shit going on.
Nice.
Well,
Very
what's
good.
it called? Your
And-
Jofo podcast actually put down what I think
boy.
is the best Korean film. I think that is one of the great Korean films.
Old boy.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
Old
yeah,
Boy
it's
is an
really good.
excellent film.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I saw
The
the
whole-
American. Yeah, sorry, go ahead,
The
Joe.
whole
Yeah.
trilogy is really good, though. Like Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Old Boy, and
That's
Sympathy
excellent.
for Lady
That's excellent.
Vengeance.
Yeah.
Like Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, it's not always in a conversation, but it's one of the most beautiful movie I saw in my life.
It's very good.
Yeah, but you know what? Like I saw the Spike Lee version in theaters of Old Boy,
Oh,
and I'm like, guys, how bad? I saw this on my birthday. I'm like, guys, how bad could this be? I went to a few buddies of mine. We were sitting down, we were watching it, and I'm like, thank God, my ex-girlfriend at the time didn't come and see the shitty movie with me. I walk out of the theater because I'm like, hey, you know what? It was good because the fight scenes were actually really good. They were well choreographed. The cast was not bad. Yeah, Josh Brolin, Michael Imperioli, Samuel Jackson, Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
The cast was not bad. It was just, I don't know what it was. Old Boy felt like it was a movie that was forced. Like Spike Lee's like, all right, you bunch of whiteys, let's make this movie and pretend you have a problem. I don't know. It felt too fake.
I think it was unnecessary.
yeah.
Unnecessary.
It was really well. It's not like they took a movie only accessible like in Asia and they bring it to America because every American guys that thinks about a Korean movie like Old Boys is the first one top of the head. Everybody saw that, so there were no point to do an American version of that movie, in my opinion.
I know it was. Look now, that was a really dumb movie.
Jofo podcast talked about I Saw the Devil. Well, basically, it's made VIP is made by the same guy, and there are a couple of actors coming over to VIP. And when I saw it at Fantasia, the director was in the room with us watching the movie.
Nice, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, no, I heard good things about I Saw the Devil. I wanna get my hands.
Two others Korean movie I would recommend also
Mm-hmm.
is City of Violence, which is basically a Tarantino-esque type of action movies.
Mhm.
Make almost me think more of a kind of in the style more to a Hong Kong movie from the 80s and 90s. And there's a New World, which is basically a gangster movie about. It's still really Hong Kong in the story because it's really infiltrated cops into a crime syndicate, and it pretty works like all you would expect until the end. The end of the last half hour of the movie make it fucking great.
Nice. All right. Do y'all have anything else you wanna add into this, or do you guys are out of movie debates and talks?
We are never out of movie debates.
We're never out of the movie debates.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. By the way,
Enemies out
Jar
of
Jar
each other
Binks.
one day.
Jar Jar. Sorry, what were you saying, Anita? I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Oh, I said we're never out of movie debates, and one day it's gonna make enemies out of us.
Oh, but you know what? No, honestly, you know what? Like I'm not saying this to suck up to you guys, but as I met you guys from day one, you guys, Lonely Path Films, like obviously, you guys are the most amazing filmmakers I've ever met. You guys,
Go on.
you know what? Like when I was working with you guys on Dirty 4. Oh man! By the way, it's sometimes in a comedy world, like Ben Cardilli and I, like, hey, when are you guys doing not funny film, aka Dirty 4? I'm like, yeah, but it's not a sequel. We just want to make it that way. And now, even when Night Shift, like, hey, when are you guys doing a sequel to Night Shift? I'm like, I don't know. I was just the guy in there. Like, heck, do I know what they're doing? I don't know. Follow Lonely Path Films. Now they're the brains. I'm just the guy who's being told, all right, Claudio, go get hit by a car. So that's it. Is there anywhere people could follow you, guys?
No,
Well,
we're very private.
As you guys see, you can follow them on YouTube, Lonely Path Films. They have they have some good stuff going on. The Night Shift is gonna be up there soon. By the way, great work on Night Shift, folks. Like if there is an
Thank
audience, I tell them
Thank
to
you.
applaud. So follow them on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and that's it. Do you guys want to have any other plugins as well, or
Guys,
I'm good.
Anita?
Stay tuned. We have more things coming.
yes, eventually. Yeah, we will have.
There's always something in the pipeline.
Exactly. And you know what? I'm happy to work with all of you. And by the way, so now I want to do a plug-in for me and Joy. Tomorrow night, we're going to be live. Episode 19, Dirty 4. It's going to be a fun night tomorrow night at 8:30. And that's it. Don't forget to join our Dirty 4 family. Please join the Lonely Path Films on YouTube and Facebook. These people are amazing, and they're amazing human beings. And that's it. So this
Just
is it.
Just a little contest though, guys. If you want to break up their trio, you can try to throw at them all the controversy about movies that divide the movie community at them.
Don't worry about it.
And the one that
We're
managed
good.
to break it off win a T-shirts.
Oh my god, that'll be like, oh my god, that'll be a good idea. Like the next film we're gonna do is like we have like a group like this, and we're like, yeah, so this like a 90 minutes is us having an argument over.
Before we go, there's only one thing that's going to separate this group, and it's very, very minute and very minor. It's when someone says The Godfather is overrated. So
Yeah.
Well,
she's right there.
Oh. Okay, now we have another hours of podcast.
wait, hold on. Before we go, The Godfather 3 is
Wait. Okay, no.
No,
Don't.
I said, so to be clear, we had this argument during at some point during the lockdown. We just kind of got stir crazy and we started doing our own like top 10 lists on Facebook and sharing them.
Which
One
we
of
should
my
continue.
top 10 overrated movies was The Godfather, particularly The Godfather Part 1. The Godfather Part 3 is not overrated because everybody knows that it's the weakest one. But the strongest Godfather movie, in my opinion, is Part 2. and part 1 gets all the attention. And so for that reason, I said that part 1 of The Godfather is overrated. And Joey lost his shit.
Hold on.
Really.
Not only Joey, a lot of
I
people lost their
literally-
shit, but I stand by what I say.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm going. Not that I want to throw the room in the fan, but yeah, I thought that a better movie, gangster movie, in my taste than Godfather is Once Upon a Time in America and Goodfellas.
You could say that's it. Those are two
Yeah.
good options to
Those are
the.
good ones.
Yeah, I prefer those depiction of gangster than
Yeah.
Godfather, but because I think
Yes.
it's too idealistic. It's
But
It's
that's
operatic. It's more.
Yeah.
It's the Godfather is the is almost like a fantasy of the mafia world.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
That-
It is.
Yeah.
And the other ones
It's
are
like the
more-
Dungeons and Dragons
pretty
of
realistic.
gangster movie.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but you see, for me, Godfather 1 is beautiful because it's cinematic. The camera work, the aesthetics of it is really good. 2, the story is good. 3, I'm just like, I think Paramount fell down the stairs a couple of times, and they're
But
like,
that's why at Christmas he's releasing it the way he wanted to release it back in 1990.
I would, honestly, I would love to see Godfather 4. I really want to see it. And you know what? In my opinion, who should do Godfather 4? And I said this for the past 10 years, and people thought that I was crazy.
Christopher Nolan.
No,
Joey Rossi.
yeah, Joe, let's do it. I actually thought Martin Scorsese should helm Godfather 4.
Martin Scorsese was supposed
And-
to do Godfather 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Robert Evans says no. You do it, Coppola, or no one else does it.
And you know who would produce it? Ridley Scott.
Okay. When that happens, we'll have another one of these conversations.
So Joey, you think we should do Godfather 4? Guys,
Yeah,
I think Let Sleeping Dogs Lie on that one. Finish up at 3.
Yeah.
No, but
And we should
sorry, go ahead.
put Hans Zimmer as the music guy.
oh man, by the way, another.
While being added.
By the way, another underrated film. We already plugged ourselves in, but I always have a bad habit of going over. Is you should check out a Montreal film that was made in 1990. It was with Guido Grasso was in there too. Bonanno, a Godfather story.
a banana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. I saw it. I'm like, holy shit.
Wasn't that with Daniello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mini series, but if you go on YouTube, it's like a two-part mini-series, and it was really underrated. I'm like, oh, this is really good. They should do a remake of this. Hold on, let me just write this in a list of remakes.
Actually, Anita, I think the reason that a lot of us find Godfather 2 better is because Godfather 2 has that nostalgic coming to a new world story that our parents went through.
Yeah.
That whole thing,
Maybe.
that scene, where they come on the boat and the Statue of Liberty there in the distance, and that whole that whole street fair sequence. I think that's why it sticks more in our heads than the first one.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's
Because
it.
it reminds us of our past.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, folks. So here you have it. A Lonely Path Films. Follow them on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. They're coming out with great films. Night Shift is going to be coming out soon, and stick around for that, ladies and gentlemen. And have a great Saturday night. And we're going to get through this lockdown together. Have yourselves a good night.
Thank you.
Thank
See
you
y'all
very
tomorrow
much.
night. Episode 19 tomorrow night to the Dirty Four podcast. Later, people. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.